Well, I'm working today, but it's a sunny day and not quite time to start work, so I came out to get started on the gate for this garden fence. The deer, as I mentioned previously, have found the entrance that I don't keep barred. So I need to figure something out there. They've been coming in and eating my spinach, and I got a lot of work to do on this fence over by the grapes that line the driveway, so I can get the electricity figured out, but I also need to get this fence going. So figured I'd get things over here, get them ready so that I could come out during lunch and get started on that.
When I set the posts for the fence that runs around the entire garden, I made sure I had 3 places to enter. I thought that would be plenty, but turns out it isn't. So I'm putting in additional people-sized gates as I rebuild the fence, converting it from electric strand to branch. This is one of the 3 entrances I designed with enough space to get a tractor or truck through. When we moved here 5 years ago, the fence was the first thing I did after building the garden. Since then, I've known I would need a gate here on the south entrance, but as long as the deer weren't getting in, I could put off that project. They've been reluctant to cross the open lawn and get that close to the house. However, this spring, they found the south entrance, so I can no longer put off building a gate. It needs to be large to fill this space, which is nearly 20 feet across. I also want it to look nice, so electric strand is out. But I also need it to be easy to open and close because I want Emily and the kids to have easy access to the garden. I'm going to try designing a fence out of cedar logs and, at the end, add a little flare that I think will allow the gate to swing easily. As I've aged, I've had fewer and fewer frustrations in the middle of projects, particularly when it comes to something not working because I didn't think a few steps ahead. I think a big part of that improvement is my tendency to just stop and look at things. To be sure, I still have things come up, but I feel like continuing to develop this habit will decrease what remains for those types of mistakes. Finally, it's time to stand this thing up so I can figure out the top of the hinge system. This part was tricky because the sumac saplings are not very rugged, particularly at the top, where they're thinnest. Also, they're held on with finish brads. I knew that wasn't going to be very strong, but I'm thinking this sumac is only a temporary version of this gate. Once I get my sawmill, which I hope will be soon, I intend to use slab wood to make a sturdier fence and gate. Until then, I just need to be a little bit careful of the top of the sumac. The first test of that care will be the construction of the top of the hinge. My idea for the hinge system is simple, at least in theory. I'm constructing top and bottom knuckles for a pin. That pin will be a piece of conduit I have on hand. The knuckles of the hinge will be pressure-treated, dimensional lumber. The pin will be threaded through pre-drilled holes in the top and bottom support of the gate, which is the leaf of the hinge. On the bottom knuckle, there will be a knuckle and a stop, so that the pin doesn't just go through the knuckle and rest on the ground. The biggest tricks to this are getting the gate level and keeping it there while I work, and keeping the gate upright while I do the calculations and construction.